This day is already not going as planned at all. My brain currently feels like this. Yeah, that's about right. So we are going to navigate it together. We're gonna do that one again. I'm gonna keep going, I need it. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. We're having a very anxious day this morning, and I was excited to film this video. So we're gonna have a fun day. We were gonna go on a weighted vest walk. I talked about this on the podcast yesterday. I actually got this as kind of a, not a joke, but I got it to film a video on because these seem to be every frickin' where. But I don't know that that's going to happen for us today. It's really rainy outside. I think it was rainy in the last video. I'll just put this on. So I will just direct you to the podcast where I talked about my experience with one, my stance on it, what the research says. So the podcast is live. You can give it a listen. So I don't know what today is going to have in store for us, but the key right now is to manage our anxiety. I'm feeling a little bit better. Essentially what I just did, and you guys, if you've been around the channel, you know, the first thing to do is to physically calm your body. When we're feeling anxious, our body thinks, it doesn't know that we're feeling anxious because of our to-do list or that we're being chased by a mountain lion. So we need to first be like, hey, body, mind, we good. So cold exposure, that can really activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of that fight or flight, which is activated when we feel stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, all those things. And then there are different spots on the face. I've gone over this before. That's, I think, in my last video. That stimulates the vagus nerve. So behind the ears is really good, kind of like under the sinuses, cheekbones area, between the forehead. So just signaling to my body, we're okay. I did some breath work, so opened up my toolbox, used that. I actually did 3 rounds of it. So the way that this app has it is they're 1-minute rounds and they just repeat, so you can do as many as you need. Usually like 1 is good for me. I needed 3 today, and that's okay. But I do feel a little bit more calm and ready to tackle the day. And I also took my meds. It's okay if you need a little help in that area. There's nothing to be shameful or wrong about that. It has literally been life-changing for me, being on an antidepressant for honestly the past couple months, and I don't actually know that I've shared that in a vlog, so we might need to dive into that a little bit more. But I'm still feeling anxious, but I don't even know what I feel. I feel more steady. I feel more stable, and I feel more able to navigate it. So let's do that. Okay, I am in the middle of feng shuiing my office here. So I used to have a desk that faced this way. If you've been watching my videos, it used to actually go kind of like right here where this tray table is. And we're gonna do a little makeover. So okay, let me give you the tour here of what I have so far. So we have my desk over here. Honestly, I don't know how much I'm gonna sit at it. And then I put this couch here. This, if you're like, what is that, Colleen? I had a shelf, and I used to have a like console kind of thing here, and I had candles and the smoke. So that smoke, I took the shelf down. So this is kind of what we got going on here. I'm going to take this down, and I will insert here my little mood board right now of what I'm thinking. Comment below, let me know what you think. We are redesigning with purpose. So that is a little sneak peek of some of like the colors and the themes and stuff that are going to be seen a lot more around here soon. I'm very excited to share that with you. But You know, this morning in this whole like scramble of like we're feeling real anxious, I do this so often. I'm like, I'm just gonna not get ready today. I'm going to just put, not do makeup. I'm not going to do my hair. I'm just gonna put a hat on. And then it gets time for me to actually do that. And I think to myself, I'm like, Colleen, you're gonna get to 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're gonna be like, I feel like a wet rag. Like, I just don't feel good. So one of the things that I do when I'm having an anxious day is kind of identify, like, is this something, sometimes, don't get me wrong, guys, sometimes just what I call scrubbing it is what you need. But today I was like, no, I want to kind of try to lift this a little bit, give myself a little bit of a mood boost that I can. So we got ourselves ready today. And then I also made sure to do all of my daily self-care, which I actually need to check off. Where's my phone? I go down the list here. I took my meds. Well, let's show you hi Theo, you're coming down. The best part is seeing the mood bar fill up, which right now it is 100% green, and that's about to change, and I'll tell you why. Do you want to come sit up here with me, honey? You want to come sit up here? You can come sit up here and say hi to people. No? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Anywho, so this is about to change, and I'll tell you why. So we took our meds, cool. That's great. We did that. Be happy light glasses. They died on me this morning, so they died. They are charging right now, so I did not get to do that today. Again, very important to reflect on your daily habits, even if you don't do them, because that's going to help you understand how do I feel when I do them versus when I don't do them, and just keep them in awareness. We ice rolled our face, and then creatine water bottle, we started one of them. So we are good to go with that. And as you can now see, our cup is slightly full, but it's got that stupid 7%. But that's okay. We don't aim for perfection. I think that's still pretty freaking good. That's what we've got going on with our mood bar so far this week. I am now going to get out my planner and I'm going to prioritize, because I think one of the reasons why I feel so overwhelmed right now is because there's so many things that I want to do. I always try to think of, why am I feeling this way? What triggered it? And then for me, what's really helpful is getting really realistic with what needs to be done, because what I've identified for me today is that I feel very overwhelmed because there's so many things that I want to do, like so many ideas in my head, so many projects. And this is a very common thing for me. You've probably heard me say this before, but it just feels overwhelming. And to be honest, I want to get to the stuff that feels more fun, and I don't want to do the stuff that I know I need to do to wrap up the things that I'm working on. So I'm going to really make my to-do list here, get very practical with today, and then whatever I can't fit into today, what really helps me is to then think through and schedule a time for when I can do this stuff. I already know there's going to be time later this week that I'll be able to get to the stuff that I want to do, the more fun stuff. And sometimes just having, like, for me, just having a place for things is super helpful and kind of like eases that anxiety. So that's what we're going to do. What the heck is the date today? Okay, so I'm going to write my list. All right, now we execute. Catch up with you later. I have been stalking when these glasses were going to get here. I ordered a couple new pairs of glasses, so we'll do a little unboxing, if you will. This is just a little pep in the step that I needed for my day. Well, hopefully they don't look bad, but I always get comments about my glasses, and I always get them from I Buy Direct. Guys, I had 2 pairs of prescription glasses for like, I think it was like $78, compared to, I feel like getting them at an eyeglass store is super affordable. Okay, which one is this? I haven't tried these on. Their virtual try-on is pretty good, but let's see which one these are. They're a little darker than I was expecting. I also have my contacts in, so it's a little hard to see. Okay, I definitely need to put nose pads on. What do you think? Like them? Do you like them? I can't see a frickin' thing. Okay, I think I like them. I wanted something a little chunkier. So we got those. Okay, and then the other ones, really guys, I can't recommend I Buy Direct more. These, just some clear ones. Oh, I like these.
Oh, they're nice.
These are good too.
Let's go well with what you're
Very just simple. I just wanted a pair of just plain, simple ones. Cool. Okay, I took my contacts out. I can see a little bit better. I'm not so cross-eyed. So these are the one pair. Like I said, they're a little darker than I had expected, but I think I like them. I have a very small bridge on my nose, so I have to like put little nose pads on so they don't fall down super cut. But I wanted just something a little bit more statement-y, so we have those, and then you saw the other ones. But I'm gonna show you what I have been making for lunch this week. I'm gonna give you my 2 best tips for making the perfect wrap every single time. Okay, so we have our wrap here, obviously, and then we're gonna start with, this is avocado ranch. So it's super easy, just avocado, some Greek yogurt, ranch seasoning, and then lime, just a squeeze of lime. So I'm going to just spread a generous portion just on the whole wrap. Now this is tip number 1. My friends, you've probably seen me do this before, but you're going to take 2 like full outside pieces of lettuce. You want them to be like as big as possible and like as whole as possible, because this is what we're gonna do. Take your wrap and then you're going to put these right on the edge and actually have them like kind of falling off a little bit. See how it's like hanging off the edge here? So we want that because this is gonna hold all of our toppings in. So that's tip number 1. This is like a little, some of you guys have called it like a lettuce swaddle. Tip number 2 is layers, friends, layers. This is going to ensure that you kind of get like deliciousness in every bite, and you don't get like bites that are like just turkey or just tomato. So we're going to do our layers right now. So we're gonna start with a couple slices of turkey here. Then we're going to do a few slices of tomato. And then I'm actually gonna put a little salt down here. And what I've liked doing is also doing a little extra of the, oh, Theodore, a little extra of the ranch seasoning. And then just a few bread and butter pickles. This is just a little extraness. Now we're gonna repeat. Actually gonna add a little more of this here. Got our tomatoes. Slice these nice and thin too. One more little pickle. Then top her off with a little more turkey. Then, let me sit down for this. So then the key is, again, we're going to fold the ends up here so nothing falls out. And then I kind of just don't really wrap it up all the way. I kind of just eat it taco-like. Deliciousness in every bite. Nothing's falling out. The avocado ranch is delicious. She's perfect. Layers. It's all in the layers. Okay. We also have some grapes, but low-key, these aren't like a good batch of grapes. Kind of a bummer, but refreshing. Okay, I'm gonna finish this and then we'll catch up with what I was working on this morning because my mind has ran a marathon. Tasty son of a gun. Okay, let me grab my coffee and then I will fill you in on how this morning went and the plan for the afternoon, because we're feeling much better. We are feeling much better, friends. Okay, so I asked you guys yesterday on Instagram how comfortable you felt with knowing about how much of each different nutrient your body needs at meal times. Carbs, fat, protein, fiber. 70% of you said that you didn't feel comfortable or like confident in knowing that information. Now that you might think, oh, with no food rules, nutrition isn't something like your body will tell you that. Yes and no. I think nutrition and understanding what our bodies need on a biological level is truly the foundation of being able to listen to your body. Here's why. A, in order for our body to give us strong, reliable cues, it has to be able to function in order to do that. One of the biggest mistakes is people trying to listen to their body or starting with what sounds good when their body's cues are all wonky. And you guys know I always say this, listening to our brain is also a part of listening to our body. So understanding this is typically the, amount that my body needs in order to just function on a biological level does play a role in our our food choices. Now, let me be clear. It plays a role. It's not necessarily always the star of the show, but it does play a role. So what I have been working on, and then what I actually finished up today so I can finally tell you about it, is a resource that will really help you understand a starting point for your meals. Now here's the cool part. There's one with numbers if numbers are not triggering for you, like grams of protein, grams of fiber. And there's also one that does not have numbers. So I will link that in the description. Like I said, I finished it up this morning. I'll link that for you below. We're adding a ton, I think it's like 27 in total new recipes to the app that all fall in line with this. So you have a starting point and then you can learn to adjust based on your body's cues. And I think that is one of the biggest things that is missing from the non-diet space, is marrying that nutrition science and what our bodies need on a biological level with our intuition. You really want to nurture your body's wisdom with what you know it needs. It's not just about, okay, body wisdom, tell me what you need. It needs to be cared for in order to do that. So we're bringing both of those things together. We love that here. Like I said, finish that up this morning. I will link that in the description for you. Snag it, guys. It is so, so good. There's also some sample recipes in there. This morning, after I got my list done, I blew through it, you guys. I was just like, go, 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 go. It was definitely one of those days. The stuff that I had to do wasn't hard, but it was a long list and it just felt daunting. Half the times when we feel overwhelmed, like a lot of the stuff isn't necessarily, or when we like make a big deal or we procrastinate, it's not as big of a deal as we like make it out to be in our heads. So I'm actually excited this afternoon. That freed up some of my time to start kind of working on some other things that I'm excited about. So I'm gonna go do that and we'll see where the afternoon and evening takes us. Alrighty, friends. It is evening. It turned out to be a lovely, lovely day here. I'm just gonna have myself a little snack and then we will be able to get outside for the first time in a couple days to walk the old doggo, because it has been, we had this like heat wave and then today it just like snapped, it broke, and it was rainy and honestly pretty chilly today. But I'm gonna grab myself a little snack because if I don't, I'm not feeling like super, super hungry right now, but I know that if I were to wait till after we dog walked, I'd be ravenous. And I don't know if you know, but cooking dinner when you're feeling ravenous is not enjoyable, and I'm excited about dinner. I don't usually have this flavor. This is the chocolate peanut butter chunk one, but my husband has been out of town a lot lately, so I'm just eating this out of practicality because I usually eat the cookies and cream flavor. You guys see me eat that one all the time, and this is usually his flavor that he likes. I like one better, he likes the other one, but I'm eating this one so we stay on kind of like the same because he's been gone, so we have a lot more of these. So we're just using a little bit of practicality rather than, ooh, what sounds best? Because our minds, our brains, practicality, like what I said earlier about nutrition, it all plays a role. You got to think about those things. Our fence. Instagram versus reality, right, guys? Anywho, I think I'm gonna end this video here. I will give you a peek at what we're having for dinner. I've been literally loving these Sloppy Joe bowls. It is one of the 27 recipes that we are adding to the app. I'm obsessed with them. So, so good. So if you're watching this video, the recipes are all gonna be live on Friday. So they're all good to go for you. You can just search in there. And like I said, I will also link the resource that I have for you about all that goes into nutrition at meal times and what to consider for your body. This is one of the meals that is based off of that. So with that, guys, if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to the channel if you are new. We would love to have you as part of the community. Let me know what you think about these glasses. Do we like them? Do we not? I feel like I'm still, I don't know, kind of getting used to them a little bit. But thanks so much for being with me, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm gonna go take that little doggo for a walk, get some sunshine, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.